Would you like to see the alignments and the aspects we're talking about this week? Well, check out the weekly overview on the funastrology.com YouTube channel. A picture really is worth 1,000 words. Welcome to Hump Day on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thomas Miller on August 29th. What do we got? 3 more days left, including today of August, and then we roll into September, and September is going to be lively in the sky, no doubt, no question. But we have some business at hand today that is good business, I think. So the first thing that happens today is the moon goes home, which of course is the sign of Cancer, which the moon rules. If you're catching this super early, it happens at 4:47 Eastern this morning. And the void, of course, before this lunar sign change is a square to Neptune. So a little bit foggy there, and the void, of course, is an hour and a half. So that would put you up really early this morning, not affecting much of our day. And the nice thing is this lunar transit through its home sign ends with a trine to Neptune. That will be Friday early afternoon Eastern time, so you've got the rest of today, well, basically all day today, all day tomorrow, and Friday morning to take advantage of this good lunar energy. What you initiate over the next couple of days, if you bring the moon's intention into it, will be blessed. The next big thing that happens today is at 5:13 this afternoon Eastern time. Mercury goes direct. What can I say? Okay. All right. We get the idea. Yeah, but wait. We're not out of the shadow period. The shadow doesn't clear until September 11th when Mercury returns back to where it started this retrograde trek back on August 5th at 4 degrees 6 minutes Virgo. How important is the shadow period? Well, it does carry some of the signature, but I'll give you a little example, something you can think about. You remember we had big, heavy energy a week ago Monday, last Monday, and you remember how fast it dissipated? By Thursday, it was basically gone, and that was supported by the sun moving into Virgo and the moon moving into Taurus. That gave us that nice grounding earth energy, but you see how fast all of those dissipated. Well, it's pretty much the same here. This is going to slide out pretty quickly. In fact, from the pivot point where Mercury is really slow today, by September 9th, it has gained enough speed that it's back into its home sign of Virgo, and then just 2 days later is back to 4 degrees. So it really picks up some steam coming out of this. But September 9th is when Mercury will be back in Virgo, happy home again, and that will give us 3 planets in their home signs. That will give us Mercury in Virgo, Venus in Libra, and Neptune in Pisces. When you think about it, that's about 1/3 of the chart. So that's some good, stable, nice energy. And that was the one other thing I wanted to think about today is, what does this chart look like? When you just sit and look at this chart right now, what do you see? Like I said, the structure changes in towards September, but what I see is kind of like the personal planets, the faster movers are kind of just not doing much to upset the apple cart right now. And the big theme builders from Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are all staged in their positions to move into these next signs, which happens between now and 2026. And I've wanted to put this on a timeline and put it on the website, but just for now, I'll give you just a quick, here are some dates. Jupiter leaves Gemini for Cancer, moves into Cancer June 9th next year. Saturn leaves Pisces and moves into Aries for the last time after the retrograde dances, February of 2026. Neptune, right there with it, moves into Aries, January 2026. They basically are about 2 weeks apart. Uranus moves into Gemini, April of 2026. And then the big one that will happen just in a couple of months, November 19th, Pluto moves into Aquarius. That's what Ray Merriman says has not happened that many, that fast, that close together that he can ever find in history. If somebody has scoured that and has something different, I sure would like to know, but I think that's probably the case. That's a lot of energy that is changing on the planet. And most of those planets now are in their later degrees. Pluto, 29 Capricorn, 0 Aquarius, it's been there forever. Saturn is in the middle of Pisces. Neptune is at 29 degrees, and it stays there. Yeah, it does do a retrograde back, but it's basically there all of next year. So it's just sitting right there at the end of Pisces, pulling masks off of old Lone Rangers everywhere it can. Uranus is at 27 degrees, so it's toward the end of Gemini. And then Jupiter, of course, being the faster mover of the bunch, is in the middle of Gemini, so it still has a good, nice track through its sign of fall, where it's not so happy. So when you think about everything that we've been through and that this whole energy is shifting and it's happening for every person on the planet is feeling this change. But this is the beauty of astrology, because we get to look at it and experience it and anticipate it and know where these energies are shifting into. But I think the rest of the chart is basically just sitting there kind of supporting it, holding the space for it right now, holding and supporting the energy. Yeah, sure, we have some squares, we have some trines, we have some sextiles, but it just looks kind of otherwise normal and counterbalanced, that the focus right now is on the big five and what they are doing to anticipate their futures in these new signs. And that's where things are going to just be super interesting for the rest of this year, all of next year, into 2026. And then there's a whole nother set of about 3 more years coming up after that with various aspects. So we've got a lot of work to do around here, but that's what we're following. And yes, that's some of the energy that you are experiencing. Hope that sets you up well, at least for Hump Day this time. And we'll be back tomorrow. And then Kristen is going to come in and talk to us about, speaking of, Pluto moving into Capricorn. That will be tomorrow or Friday. Thank you so much. Appreciate you listening. Have a wonderful day. Sending you big hugs and lots of love.